Alright boys, today we're going to delve into the depths of degeneracy with your boy here, DJ Dimwit. I totally lost track of what I was saying. Yeah, this is going to be HeartGold, Soul Silver, Kaizo IronMON. If you don't know what that is, there's some information down in the description for you to be able to see. The last time we did one of these videos, it was on Survival IronMON. So that'll also be in the description, which is a shameless plug. Go watch it. It's actually pretty good. Like just do it. But before that, if you need to know what Kaizo IronMON is, to slap it down as simply as my man piece hits the table during family dinner, it's a hardcore, fully randomized Nuzlocke with plenty of item restrictions and level modifiers, among other things, and it's very complicated. There's going to be a link down in the description with the rule set that it is there. Yeah, just go down there. I don't want to sit there and bore you with a long 20-minute introduction of me reading the rules and explaining what they mean. So if you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll do my best to be able to answer them. So long schlong introduction out of the way. Well, I mean, it was actually a short introduction because we don't do long around here, but hey. We begin our challenge, of course, in the lab, where Professor Elm comes and tells us that we have small penises, so we need to lengthen it or something like that. And I guess he said something about stretching it, but I didn't really listen to him because that's weird. So after a lot of ball-crushing defeats at the hands of various vile vermin, I took my completely flattened family jewels for a nice plumping at Professor Elm's lab, because there's no rest for the wicked. You know, I gotta keep grinding. But this time around, my smelly sperm shooter spawned quite the specimen, actually. Look at him. It's beautiful. So with flaming fists of fury, we Daddy our way to Mr. Pokemon's lab and chopped down Professor Oak. Don't take that the wrong way. We taught Mr. Pokemon that we're terribly degenerate and booty blasted our rival into submission before letting the police back at Professor Elm's lab know just whose cheeks we just got done clapping. Get wrecked, Zapper. So we officially begin a conquest of booty banditry. I'm not sure if that's actually a word, but when we're done, it's going to be, okay? Just trust me. Before all that, though, we have to make our way through youngster Joey and all of his little friends or whatever. They're kind of lame. But this is the wrong game for puns like that, so we had to Sprout Tower to trim their hedges instead. We quickly discover, however, that their heads aren't the only thing that's shiny and shaven, so instead we just punch the hell out of them in their baby butt smoothness. Then move on to better things. I made a penis joke, by the way. Better things, which include, well, we beat up some emo kids who are standing in a building full of buildings to jump off of. For some reason. Yeah, I don't get it either. Unfortunately, none of them had a single bird Pokemon in their avian gym, so when they jumped off and to try to be edgy for attention, well, let's just say I'm never going back to that gym again. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, we don't talk about this. It's gone, it's done, okay? Okay, there was nothing I could do. Anyways, foul features aside, I head to the mart in order to buy some repels with the money I stole off of all those kids I bullied, but get stopped by not only a stalker geisha woman? What? Who tells me to leave my window open tonight? Ugh. And one of Professor Elm's aides who gives me his child to take care of. Something about him being ruined if people found out how the egg was made. Look, it's 2023, I don't ask questions anymore, man. So child in tow, I make my way south towards the next targets, but make a quick detour to learn how to smash like a homeless fat man, and punch the seed out of a random stranger before letting Machamp do his thing all over the trainers on the way to Azalea Town. Part 2. Bugsy and the Bussin Buccaneers. After fighting off a bunch of weirdos who hang out inside of a cave all day talking about scrambling my eggs, whatever that means, we find our way to Azalea Town, where I would say something about how it feels fishy, but I think that pun would make me bug out. So instead I jumped down into a well in the hopes that either Lassie would find me and I'd finally have friends, or I would just drown and end it all. But I ended up finding an old man with a broken back and an even more broken group of goons who just want their dad to come home with the milk. But family trauma aside, I beat their asses to help them get over it and they ran off. It's hard to be a good person sometimes, but I gotta do it. When we defeat Team Bussin, Kurt decides his back is magically fine again and drags me by the apricorns back to his ball shack and offers me a hand if I ever need to finally become a man. But I decline both his phone number and helping the girl he claimed was his daughter make my way to the gym. God, this place is fucked up. So I go ahead and beat up my rival again, which was sort of a wash. I mean, it's HeartGold Soul Silver. Just Johto games in general, the rival is ass in every one of them. It doesn't matter. They're always bad. Anyways, I enter the gym, and I don't think anybody ever told Bugsy that spiders have 8 legs, unless these web slingers are something else completely. Honestly, I'm not sure, considering I still likely have a concussion from jumping down that well. Either way, I don't have any good jokes here, so I'll admit that when I first saw the creepy crawling champion, I thought he was a girl, and frankly, I'm still not convinced she isn't, which might bug some people. Reused jokes are cool. But I'm open-minded, so I just beat his ass like anyone else would. No discrimination here.
Boom. Falcon! Falcon!
From time to time, I wonder what any of these characters really have to do with each other. Like, why didn't Bugsy do anything about Team Rocket and the Slowpokes? What does Charcoal have to do with cutting small trees? And why does Kurt play with balls in front of his potentially kidnapped daughter? Where do half of these people live in these towns? Then I realize I don't actually care and I'm just here to fist people with my Machamp. Get her.
Part 3. Whitney the Wallowing Whimp. What? I don't know what that means, but here we are.
Anyways, exiting the forest, we head up towards Goldenrod City, where we're promptly stopped by Lyra and her grandparents, who bring me into their daycare to show me their collection of Pokemon they take care of, but refusing the offer to leave any of my Pokemon with them, as that isn't the type of fisting we're after, believe it or not. I make my way to the big city and immediately pillage their department store's warehouse. Their security even helped, oddly enough. Considering we're in the mother of all big cities, it has to have a basement full of neckbeards, and as I'm pretty hungry for some Cheetos, I head down to pillage them immediately. I'm also not going to ask why Lyra was down there. As long as she leaves me alone, we're okay. So after going to the national park to beat up some nerds, finding out there's a tree in the way of my progression, which I couldn't just punch down for some reason, I went to show my mental prowess to a pink-haired girl inside of the oddly low-security radio tower before chasing the sobbing woman back to her pink lady cave full of more women. God, that sentence, dude. So I did the only obvious solution and beat them all up.
Move here!
Nom. Nom.
After stealing the gym's badge and robbing the lady next door for a water bottle I could have easily gotten at the mart, I run back up to the pseudo tree and water it, which ended up being a gnat. So, with deep-seated fear in my eyes, I ran like a bitch to the next city. Ekrutik? Anyways.
Part 4. Morty and the Magnificent Members.
That's a penis joke. So we finally land in Ekrutik. The smell of burning wood, perfume, and fried chicken flow through the air, which is a strange combo, but I digress. Heading into the first most obvious place to go to any town, the club, I noticed something odd going on in there. There's a man on stage attempting to beat the dancing woman, so I quickly step in. Doesn't he know only I get to do that? Like, come on, man. After discovering where the perfume smell was, I decided it was a tad overbearing, so I take a walk around town, ignoring the chicken and burning wood for now. I catch a hint of a fishy smell wafting from the west, so I think it's a woman, and not tiring of this joke yet, I head over towards the smell, defeating many trainers and meeting a man named Booba, who was ironically standing out in front of a milk farm. I find the source of the fishy smell, which was just a harbor in the end. Dang. So to reevaluate my life's choices to this point, we begin climbing the, for some reason, public access lighthouse while fighting off both my existential demons and the random trainers who want to take advantage of my mental state. I reach the top in hopes that possibly some otherworldly being would be in the horizon, ready to melt my brain with unfathomable knowledge, and I was correct. There's a woman up there. After talking to her, she begs me to find medicine for her animal that she abuses into lighting up the lighthouse all day every day without rest, so I agree to find that medicine. Just so I can walk away feeling not guilty about leaving that poor thing sick. But as the ocean terrifies me, instead, I trek back to Irotduction and into the tower that I passed by previously. Heading inside, I find a creepy man obsessed with Blue's Clues, the gym leader, and my rival, who were all just standing there waiting for me to enter for a while, I think. What were they doing? So uncomfortably, Machamp and I beat up Zapper again, grabbed some items, and walked down into the basement, wondering how my new K9-obsessed companion didn't see it from the top floor. Like, really, dude, right there. They're right there. But like most bitches, they ran away at the sight of me after calling me whatever I assume is some derogatory names in Pokemon language. So, we exit and forget all about that place, never to return, and head into the fourth challenge. Dudley, the fisherman. He begins the battle by slapping me in the face with balls a few times and leaving a present all over my face, which allows me to easily set up for a clean sweep of his team.
Falcon! Falcon! Falcon!
And I defeat the menacing master.
Part 5. The Raging Rockin' Rebellion. A sex joke.
Won't lie, I don't remember what the joke was supposed to be in the title, but here we are, part 5. So after defeating Dudley and learning how to swim from it somehow, we head east to the Land of Rage, and by rage I just mean angsty children who think the name makes them badass for hanging out there. So we beat our way through, collecting some items, and we find what we thought was a Gyarados, only to find out it was actually just an overcompensating ladybug with daddy issues, probably. So we run away from the threat to find a man in a leather bodysuit and a rubber cape, watching us with what we assume is malicious intent. So we make the easy choice and agree to follow him down into the cellar of a shack back in Mahogany Town. We arrive in Mahogany Town, fists ready to stretch some rocket grunts out. But upon entering the shack that Lance wished for us to enter with him, we witnessed him ravaging some poor shopkeep and traumatizing the assistant. Angry and betrayed, we chased the leathery man down into the chasm that— Wait, there's no way this fits down here. How did nobody notice this? You know what? Never mind, we have better things to worry about. In order to avenge the shopkeep and his assistant, we violently assault every worker in the warehouse cellar thing until we find the Skin Titan and teach him a lesson. Finding out there was an entire subsystem down below the warehouse and we got involved in, something. I have no idea, honestly, but they're all dressed the same, so they must be bad guys. I figured it would be best to kill two birds with one stone, no pun intended. So, we find an angry purple-haired crackhead that's responsible for running this joint, and wait, is this a meth lab or something? Is that what's going on here? The selling of drugs is far beyond the scope of my childlike mind, so I'll just assume that hitting them hard enough will solve the issue. So we head up towards the main generator to beat up the Pokemon powering it in order to save them from being abused. However, the lore gets deeper and I have to work together with Lance in order to stop this evil organization who's trying to stop us from killing the generator Pokemon for some reason. But we handily sweep through them and make our way in. After defeating the Pokemon, the scaly scoundrel and I part ways, vowing to one day fight again, but for realsies this time. It's kind of a short part, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. That's why we're heading on to
Part 6. The Gauntlet of Gooch.
Bro, I don't know, man. So, done with all that crackhead, meth lab, crime, gang, whatever bullshit, I didn't read the game's lore. Come on, nobody does, it's Pokemon. We continue on our way as if absolutely nothing happened and make our way to the ocean while following the scent of Axe body spray and unwashed feet to find Cinnabar Island and challenge Chuck the Cuck and his gym of meaty men to a fight. But I quickly prove myself the optimal fighting type trainer as Machamp and I just absolutely destroy him. But not underfoot because I think he'd like that. Ugh.
Welcome!
After leaving the gym, Chuck's wife thanks me for giving him a good beating and pays me off with HMO2, Fly. She may have gotten the wrong idea what we were really doing in there, but whatever. Profit. Anyways, before setting off, I stopped by the medicine guy for that smelly lighthouse girl and run into that creepy Blue's Clues stalker guy once again. I actually did those two things first, but I forgot to show it, so yeah, that's why it's weird. After flying back to the lighthouse and delivering the goods, we get a call from our old friend Booba to come back to Cianwood Island and check out the mountain and civilization that he's crafted. Man, what an absolute beast. He crafted it by hand. After visiting with the legend himself, we get back on task and go chill for a bit with the coolest of gym leaders, Price. That was a bad pun, I'm sorry. He wasn't much of a challenge though, as he's old and Booba taught us his ways of becoming a titan of Giga Chadness. It doesn't have to make sense. I'm a Giga Chad now.
I'll be back!
Mommy? Sorry.
Anyways, after beating Price and feeling a bit demasculated from beating up an old man, I went ahead and took a real vacation into a dangerous whirlpool-infested chain of islands in the middle of the ocean to prepare for a real man's work, which is beating up a little girl instead. Finding plenty of supplies that had washed up from previous adventurers who likely died on the islands, I felt plenty rejuvenated and ready to go to finally fight the Princess of Fish Smells. Who wrote this script? Wait, would that make Jasmine a mermaid or something? You know what? I don't know. Let's just beat her up.
Oh yeah!
And that's when you try to flank me.
Welcome!
Mommy? Sorry.
Part 7. The radio tower trouble of something else that starts with the letter T, because I can't think of anything original to say right now. Yeah.
Well, if you couldn't tell from the title of this part, we get a call from a familiar face, I think. I wasn't really listening, honestly. I did catch that some asshole destroyed a Pokemon power generator in Mahogany Town, which caused the power to completely go out in Goldenrod City. Dude, what a fucking idiot. So I rushed my way over to check it out, only to find out that the security system of the radio tower relied on that generator, and with it being disabled, Team Bop It was able to twist it and pull it away from the population with a hostile takeover. Making our way up the tower, Machamp and I run past most of the worthless ranks of Team Rocket members while they were ranting something about human rights. Wait, Team Rocket? I thought they were Team Bussin. Yeah, whatever. I ignore them and their colored hair because we all know that if someone looks different than you, they don't matter. Approaching the leader of this little radio tower raid, I take notice that he's also a crackhead, similar to the previous squad leader we beat up in that weird basement. So after making preschooler bitch cry by telling him Walter White isn't real, he tells me about a party going on underneath the Mega Mart here in Goldenrod City, and that the director of the radio tower is attending it. Now understanding how the radio tower was so easily taken over, I make my way down into the party, hoping that they don't ask for my ID, considering that I'm a child and all. But luckily, the security outside was the same weird kimono woman that's been stalking me, so she let me in no problem. As weird as it is, she said that she ages me up in fan art that she does of me, so that's good enough for her to consider me an adult. Yeah. Creeped out, I enter the basement area, take a couple of goodies on the way, and confront the director. The director, however, was too coked out of his mind and covered in glitter to be willing to take me to the top of the radio tower, so he gave me all of his security credentials instead. Jesus Christ. Finally, it's time. Time to take care of all these rocket dudes once and for all. So I head back into Radio Tower, and like a middle-class white woman, I make a joke about getting in all my steps for the day by doing so. The room before my final rocket encounter, I'm stopped by a red-haired woman whom I can only assume is that red-haired kid's mom, I guess. Look, I saw a theory about it once. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it makes enough sense. Also, this will be the perfect feel for me to trash talk him next time I see him, so I'm gonna go with it. What a bitch. Lastly, it's time for the Rocket Man himself. I know he's the final boss because he's the only one who doesn't look either cracked out of their mind, protesting something, or in a serious withdrawals. He starts by throwing out a half-open condom who smells like Febreze, so we take that opportunity to set up a few Dragon's dances and then begin the sweep. Machamp Dick punched the condom, who takes 2 strikes actually, Dick punched the angry rainbow chicken, mouth punched the toothy blowjob machine, shook the ground on the egg-headed toe sniffer here, and then after a miss and being led to a very close encounter, I have to waste a very valuable full restore, which could lead to some very bad issues later on actually. This is where the run actually starts getting a little bit risky. The icing on the cake, however, is missing one more time, in fact. This is when a new Sky Uppercut had to go. But after being brought back down to half HP, we managed to kill the Cloud Menace. That's not Rain. Thankfully, he finishes off weak, and I easily kill the worst toilet paper you could ever use. That takes care of the rockets. The old man, probably feeling better from his coked-up party state, begins his way up the tower to thank me for cleaning up his problem. I claimed I didn't need to be rewarded, but little did he know I used his keycard to access the bank account and drain it all into my fund labeled cheap coke and overweight hookers. That way he'd never really know who took it. He'd just think he did it, you know, because I'm smart and I'm a child and yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Part 8. Clair, the Cryin Crybaby of Tearin eyes and Cryin.
Rocket's taken care of, and me running out of clever names for these parts. There's a lot more. I head back into my main objective, which honestly I'm not even sure what it is anymore. Getting badges, I guess? But having took note of the ho-oh that one rocket leader dude had, I made sure Machamp plucked one of his feathers so that we could gain access to the tower in that one town named after the wood. So we collected all the goods we could in the tower, and dumb Baldy, he let us in. What an idiot. Before heading to our final gym challenge. We find a cave, explore some slippery ice mazes, get stopped by a creepy man telling us to catch his waterfall underneath. What the hell? Shit in some holes, and collected plenty of items. Then, make it to the backwater Blackthorn City. Taking notice of the giant hill down below, I'd take a shit down it to see how far down it'll go, and obviously I'd give it chase just to see. Found it. Some of the residents were fairly angry with me, however, so after beating them up and stealing all their goods from some pitch dark cave, I make my way to the gym. Also, I forgot to mention before my shitty downhill adventure, I went to the move relearner and swapped out Sky Uppercut for Body Slam. Goodbye, Sky Upper Miss. You won't be missed. Stupid move. We managed to swiftly punch our way through several Deoxys, Palkia, and several other Titans of Destruction. What is this gym, bro? Look at those devious eyes. We make our way to Clair to call her a poo-poo stinky butt. She opens up with some sort of 420 blazed fetus who confused us while we were dancing like madmen. But as we healed it off, our speed got drastically dropped, which left it one stage down after our D-dance. Unfortunately, it was enough to make that fetus yeet us right into us and outsped into another confuse. Being out of confusion heals, I decided it wasn't worth setting up anymore, and I would just have the chance being one speed category lower, and my Machamp earthquakes him down to size. Next, the angry blue-haired woman sends out a hula hooker, and because of previous encounters, I know it can't do much to me, so I make sure to set up some D-dances until the confusion wears off. Max turns, by the way. It's fucking annoying, I hate confusion. The rest of the team was pretty much a sweep at this point after the Wicked Witch sends out Gel Aids, the OG Bussy, your creepy uncle peering through the crack of the door, and Rimjob Supreme. handily defeating Clair. Well, it looks like we have another crybaby on our hand. Why is Johto full of crybabies, dude? Sore losers got it. Dude, I swear. Come on. She won't give us the last badge because apparently we cheated and there's no way she could have lost or something. Honestly, I wasn't listening. So we explore behind the gym and hit up the Dragon Clan's orgy den to find the pervy old men who run trains on new recruits in the Love Shack that you can ironically only enter from behind. Thankfully, I wasn't their type, and they just gave me a quick quiz, which I'm not sure I could have failed if I tried. Spoiler, I tried. Then we pass by Clair. She reluctantly gives us our badge and a worthless TM. Good luck with the old guys, bitch. I told them you were into some weird shit. Once that's said and done, Machamp and I head back to Professor Elm, considering we're in the neighborhood. But the reunion isn't all sunshine, as he alerts us to the fact that our stalker kimono lady has stolen our identity and is running around purchasing cheap adult films on the internet in my name. Damn you, Life Alert. Why can't you just let a 10-year-old register? So, knowing their location, I make my way back to Tree Town and break my way in to confront them. And in clean anime fashion, they told me my princess was in another castle, and by castle, they mean their servers are locked up at the top of the tower I looted earlier on. How did I not notice anything up there? Oh, that's why. It's in a robot bird sent by the government. Yeah, I knew that. With the newfound knowledge that birds are fake in the back of my mind, I confidently run away and make my way towards the next big challenge.
Part 9. The man in the rubber suit gets the boot. What is this cat in the fucking hat? Jesus Christ.
Here we are, boys. The final stretch. Then I can be used as a human parachute like I was always meant to. Wait, wrong video. Yeah, time for the Elite Four. The kimono girl's issue solved and my identity secured from the government spy bird, we surf across the water to enter an unexplored, to us, land, Kanto. I had to emphasize that for nostalgia's sake. Gen 1ers, rise up. A few more trainers to fodder through and a few more item checks to grab, we climbed our way to the glorious Victory Road. The final resting place for most trainers' careers that never had a chance anyways due to their lack of being a protagonist. After making sure to rest by the creepy forest lady and hoping that she didn't do anything inappropriate to us in our sleep, I entered the cave full of... Oh, wait, there's nobody here. Oh, alright, cool. After more looting, I realized people really need to hold on to their stuff better. I'm a 10-year-old with sticky fingers. From Candy. Then before leaving, I finally see my rival for one last encounter. He tells me to hand over all the stuff I found on the ground in the cave, but I hit him up with the "your mom" and tell him what happened in the radio tower, sending him running and crying. See you, Zapper. It's time for the ultimate challenge before our later ultimate challenge that is post-game, and we shouldn't know about that yet, but we'll get to that. Anyways, not even remembering why I wanted to beat this leather-clad dragon tamer's ass, because I wrote this script over the course of like 2 weeks. I deposit my HM friends and head into face his crew first. First off, we have Will. He likes to touch kids or something from what I heard, so you know I have to stop him first, easy. So we do the same brainless setup of dancing against his huge tree that rends me with his cock the entire time. Oh god. And then we sweep. We punch the tree in his rendering penis, punch the screeching edgelord, slam into the not-dragon fire lizard with wings, Earthquake, the fart-sounding ghost. It really does sound like a fart. But he lived, and we mopped him up with a round 2. And then we burn a sunflower. Wow. I think he used that to throw me off before sending out the pissed-off water chicken who breathes on us. Get a breath mint, bro. And then we finish off Will. Well, anyways, back to topic. Next we have Koga. He's cool because he's a ninja, and I mean, really, that's all it takes, right? The first Pokemon he sends out is a... who I just mindlessly set up on, disregarding all possibilities of the Godzilla wannabe killing the heck out of us. Don't do what I do. He swaps to Booty Missile, but that butt is more fake than Nicki Minaj, so I pop it with my fist. Next, we destroy the coral reefs because we're cool, which we easily mop up with a nice slam into its singular hole. Then, honestly, I don't have anything on this one. Get punched, loser. Dick tip head ass. And finally, Mr. Cool Ninja Guy sends out a big, loud, colorful bird. Naruto's orange jumpsuit would be proud. Next, well, we have Bruno, probably one of the least important characters in the original Pokemon games. Seriously, what the fuck did he do besides leave Brock to get the milk? Wait, that is Brock's dad or something, right? They kind of look the same. Anyways, he sends out the pinnacle of dad bods to go out against me. Damn. Damn you and your oddly desirable features. He seems to outspeed me into Sacred Fire, luckily not burning me, but doing some serious damage that was healed off by our man-berries. So, as to not risk a burn from a follow-up, we rip an EQ and his dad bod jiggles into submission. Then his wife, who was only with him for the money, comes to assault us with her Jersey Shore aesthetics, but we just do the manly thing and punch her down. We see a Mawile at nice, and punch it. We punch the Queen Bee, and a flying thing whose tail is, I'm convinced it's just a fart that's propelling it, honestly. Like, look at this thing. It survives one hit and brings us into La La Land, which means we can't do his second setup and instead just need to wake Machamp up from sleeping on the job. And then round 2, we managed to fully paralyze the farting fish and move on to a turtle who's too busy with his stock market trading to worry about us. I don't get this line. Finishing off Brock's long-lost dad and securing his milk for our own. Not that kind of milk, stop it. No, you're gross. Then the last member of Lance's leather-clad Elite Four, Karen, properly named, and I could swear is related to Clair since they both sport the same lackluster middle-aged grandma trying to fit in look. And, ironically, she starts with the same dick tip looking ass Pokemon as before, which we assert our dominance on as always by dancing the night away, and surprisingly, she also dances with me, making it rain and then stop raining? Wait, why? Whatever, it boosts my punch, so I'll take it and punch the tip. So beside getting slapped with a little quick attack from a pufferfish trying to do inappropriate things so I'm a champ, this fight is a very clean sweep with no mons we haven't seen before. It's a basic fight for a basic bitch, I guess. Finally, we approach Lance, who we still want to fight for some reason. I actually don't remember why. Probably the leather pants. Because, I mean, who wears those anymore? Anyways, he gives the good old daunting "it was me" speech like we didn't know this was coming, and we promptly enter the battle. Leather underwear brings the battle with an ironically slow Whiscash, which allows me to easily set up D-dances with low risk. After missing a few focus misses, the oblivious catfish still manages to tank out an earthquake, and I swear to God this game reads inputs, because why the hell did he self-destruct here? You know what? Whatever. Let's sweep. Slam the Pelipper, punch the ghost woman, shake the dog until he pukes, tear them walls up, and finally, punch Pinocchio's nose. Then bam, we busted on Lance. I mean, we busted on the E4. I mean, you know what? Never mind. We won. We won, okay? And we didn't have to use the tiny bit of healing we had left either. So there you have it. We saved the world. Then Professor Oak comes to congratulate me, but quickly after, Lance brings me into the dark, lonely room and tells me to put my balls on the machine. Well, now we're registered as champions, I guess. Now we have to take up Lance's mantle as a leather-clad Chad and go dominate more random people in a different region. Kanto. I'm not wearing the leather, though.
But 10. Road to the road to the road to the mountain road. Your titles are getting shitty, by the way.
I don't know, apparently I was drunk the night before, so anyways, waking up the next morning after my crazy rager, I walked downstairs as the newly crowned champion of... Wait, was this even my goal? Why did I start this journey? I don't even know anymore, man. Either way, my mother tells me to go talk to Professor Elm, who has a proposition of some sort for me. So I head over there, and he tells me that he wants me to go to Kanto on a luxury cruise instead of just surfing over the pond like I did before, which would take like 5 minutes. Apparently something about my passport being messed up from the identity theft earlier, and this was the only safe way. Wait, am I a stowaway? Whatever. So I head to the lighthouse to jump onto the cruise ship. And luckily, they didn't question my age. I even got a complimentary glass of wine. What? Whatever. So I head onto the boat and take notice of the fact that they don't have a cabin for me. Yep, I'm definitely a stowaway or a kidnap victim. I don't know. Whatever. Machamp will crush anyone who might actually try to do anything to me anyways, so I walk around like an annoying child and find an old man sitting inside some weird room who asks me to look for his lost daughter and trusts me not to do anything weird, I guess. Maybe it's my honest face. Or the almost nude muscle man following me. It could be either one. So I run into the deepest reaches of the boat, fighting off pirates in the mask of sailors. At least that's what they are in my headcanon. I don't care what they actually are. And eventually I found a girl who was bothering the captain while he was doing captain stuff. So I punched her and she ran off crying. I gave chase with very little resistance and found her in the corner somewhere, instead of running back to her father, which I don't get children, man. But eventually she goes back. To my surprise, her parental figure, I don't know if that's her dad or grandpa, it's just some random guy. Maybe he's a trafficker, I don't know. He wasn't angry with me slapping some sense into the girl, though, and thanked me instead. Don't have kids, boys. Conveniently, the boat arrives at its destination in Kanto just as soon as my little adventure is over, so I quickly hop off and take my first step onto solid land for like a whole hour. It was intense. I was in that boat for a while. So I begin touching grass all over the mean streets of Kanto. Somehow all the trainers here are considerably stronger than the former Pokemon League champion that I had fought, but they don't really stand much of a chance against the fisting forces of my muscular menace. I won't lie to you, the next few hours of gameplay is pretty simple. I just go from route to route, checking items and fighting fodder trainers that won't stand much of a chance against me. I didn't even find really any good items. Items have been very dry this run. So the randomization just wasn't very friendly with me when it comes to that. Everything else has been actually not too bad, but the items, terrible. Items are terrible. So I'll just highlight the interesting parts of it. Otherwise, just feel free to skip to the next part. It's all in the chapters. It's fine.
This is written down as part 12, but I accidentally skipped 11. Final encounter training, also penis.
We're here, folks, the final stretch. And by stretch, I mean the buttholes I left seeping and weeping all over Kanto. A couple of the story elements that had happened on the way there, I helped a power plant guy get his stuff working, stamped some land for an old bald guy. I broke up Misty's date because stay single, boys. Helped a little girl get a doll in exchange for my own personal bullet train. Traveled through ice, fire, sleet, rain, nice weather alike. And of course, looting the land for all it's worth while defeating everybody who happened to breathe in my air. Fuck them. We find ourselves about to enter the first gym of the region, however. The daughter of the Elite Four Koga, the ninja guy. I only remember him because he's a ninja, honestly. And if he's cool for being a ninja, then she should also be cool. Never mind. Never mind. And so I beat her ass. Dance twice, get milked twice. Busted a nut. Fake Butterfree. Made some turtle soup with pork belly, apparently. Jiggle physics against Busty Dusky. Jasmine down. Janine down. I said Jasmine. That's wrong. Janine down. Did I say Jasmine the first time? I don't even remember anymore. Whatever. Next is Surge, the Lightning American. Served in the Mystery War of 1996. Became a master of guerrilla warfare, and it shows through his stupid fucking trap that took 6 attempts. Bro, honestly, like, what the hell? Why did it take so long? I was here for a good solid 25 minutes trying to figure this shit out. Anyways. We'll take it out on him. Let's go. Fittingly, starting off with the giant Thundercat, we hoed him out immediately to avoid any setup issues. Then a doll full of eyes that look oddly like boobs chops us up while we dance, and it becomes easy after that. Boob jiggle. Gliscor attempting to demasculate us with this giant extension seating onto us. An obese egg-looking bitch comes out. One of these fuckers. Mantine? And Mantine? Mantine. And lastly, this thing. The only thing with a big enough mouth for Gliscor. Alrighty, search done. Next is Bruno's child. Rock hard and ready to rubble. Yeah, that was a bad one. I apologize. We tell him that his dad was an Elite Four member, but apparently he doesn't believe us, so we don't give a shit and move on to beat the hell out of him instead. He opens up with a derpy boy, who in a very terrifying exchange, metal bursts us, putting us in critical range. So I decided to continue boosting instead so that can't happen again, to the point where I begin popping blue pills like a 63-year-old man in a failing marriage. Then, fully boosted and healed up, I slam into his oblivious son of a bitch. Everything else just dies now that we're so boosted. Giant bird who steals your food, cloudy bird who steals your rain. What the hell is this thing actually supposed to be? Whatever. A special king with his brain being bitten and surviving somehow. And bacon. Brock isn't getting this mod back. I'm hungry. We discovered that the pig defied gravity and used whirlwind on us, causing our HM friend to be dragged out because I forgot to deposit them. I literally always forget to deposit them. Okay, I don't forget. I'm just too lazy, let's be real. As the rules of Kaizo state, if you get forcibly switched out, you have to switch back to the first turn you can. No exceptions. You can't just let your HM friend die. So we swap back out to our main Mon, and we managed to fry his greasy ass up just fine. Next, Misty. She's pretty bland, and I've been told she's a waifu for some people. Weird. Anyways, we'll change that so nobody wants her as a waifu anymore. Also, I broke up her date, and that's pretty funny. Fuck her. Well, we get through the trainers pretty handily. Most of the trainers in the Kanto gyms aren't really a threat. They have like one Pokemon that's severely underleveled, and yeah, they're not even worth mentioning, honestly, unless they do happen to kill you, and then, I mean, you just suck. Starting off her water-type team correctly, she sends out Emo Jolteon, and it attempts to flatter us. But assuming the AI reads inputs, I slap down an Earthquake in hopes that it can't confuse me again after healing it off. And I succeed. And then next we have, yo, what up, Dick Nick? So we punched him. Then it's Furry Bait. Ironically, more people would call this a waifu than Misty, which, gross. And then we have one thick... Dude, what are these Pokemon supposed to be? Like, seriously, like, what is this? And next we have a balding dog. Okay. After putting the balding dog out of its mangy ass misery, and we have to fight a jet, which is about to crash. Yeah, make your jokes. Fucking make them. And then we slammed Misty. Beat Misty. Wait, god damn it. Actually, yeah, I'm fine with beat. Yeah, we beat Misty. Fuck. Next, Erica's gym. The grass gym over in Celadong City, amply named for its massive amount of hookers in the hotels. Her gym is pretty annoying though, so I'm gonna burn it down when I'm done. Plus her flowers smell like shit. Bro, get a life, bitch. This gym has a pretty scary double battle though that we have to deal with, and we end up taking quite a hit from it, but that won't be too much of an issue, I hope. God damn, that thick-thighed motherfucker is scary, bro. Look at him, bro. He's got a dick on his head. Speaking of thick thighs, wait, no, she doesn't have any. Yeah, let's just beat her ass. She starts with rat jam, rat jam, rat jam, rat jam, rat jam. And then setup is done. God damn. Next is Future Fried Chicken, who manages to tank one of our hits and then hits us back. But his bigger, meaner cousin Sauce punched little bro's Birdussy and comes to kill us dead. It's pretty scary, actually. I heal to make sure to play it safe and end up eating a Chode boost, which lowers his special attack and deals exactly 110 damage to me. The heal was definitely the call. I would have died. I'm unable to kill him efficiently, and he power swaps me, causing my stats to drop quite a lot. This is bad. Forgetting about our incoming heal, I attack again instead of boosting, because I'm dumb. Doing close to no damage and eating another full-powered Chode boost. This thing's an absolute menace. It Chode boosts, power swaps, lowers my stats to restore his. It is actually insane. My cock sweating profusely, I use up another heal, leaving me with one more for the remainder of the run. I dance my way back up so that if he hard swaps me again, I won't lose or gain anything. That way I can play it safe and the AI won't prioritize using that attack. Then I body slam him twice, taking him out. Hopefully we don't see that thing again. The rest of the team pretty much melts as she sends out two easy-to-kill kings in an attempt to checkmate me. but I know the rules of chess and I punch her final bird, winning the match.
Falcon!
We're in a pretty bad position at this point, as we're, as I said, out of heals, and we have a couple more gyms to do plus red, so hopefully we can find something in the upcoming item checks after the gyms are done, if we can get past them. Sabrina's gym is quite different, and by different I mean confusing. The confusion actually comes from her name, though. Bussy Flap. So I guess she's twice the Arby's meat factor we thought she was, boys. So Long John Gross and Brown starts off by sending out a tusked car tire. So I dance, then quake. Leg day every day goes down. The giant dick reference gets circumcised.
Falcon!
Sent Hubba Bubba to Bible Fat Camp. Defluff the chicken's wiener. And lastly, slam down Don Fan's Uncle Bad Touch. Then Sabrina was finished. Or I should say Bussy Flat, maybe. Gross. Anyways, that was easy. Just like her. I need to stop. Let's move on to the next one then. Blaine. We're close to the end. Our penultimate gym challenge will be Blaine, the swaggy bald guy that nobody blames for doing terrible experiments on animals in his basement. Yeah, that's the thing. Anyways, we fight the baldy. McBussy is his new alias. He opens up with the sex symbol, Blastoise, but Blastoise sucks. In more than one way. So I dance to assert dominance. He stuns me, which gets healed by a Lumberry, but I can't afford to let that happen twice. So I earthquaked the Water Bowser and moved on. Then the most overrated Pokemon call comes out, so I punch him dead. Pretty tough sea penis jumps out, tanks a body slam, edging me repeatedly as I dance to assert dominance. God damn it. I put him in heal range, and considering he's out of 2 hit range for body slam, I dance again while he heals, which allows me to easily KO him. The rest of the team is a wash, as I'm very over-boosted now, so I wipe his butt. Violently. After smoking some crack and doing a booty call, which means getting all the items and extra Ks in the area, I go to Blue's Techno Nightmare of a gym. Also, Blue smokes crack as well. That's what he was doing on Cinnabar Island. He was smoking crack. Prove me wrong. Go ahead, tell me what he was doing. Anyways, this gym houses another double battle, and this time they appear to be butt sluts. One with a cloister, nice. This double battle wasn't as bad as the previous one, however, as an earthquake can just kind of mop up the cloister that still doesn't have a horn, by the way. Just bring that up again. And the judgmental Zangoose. The rest of the battles were uninteresting, so let's move on to Blue. I heal on the final trainer of the gym before Blue so I could be as optimal of HP as possible, which leaves me with now officially no healing. It says a couple of %, but those are like little regular potions that do 20 HP, and they're not even worth thinking about using, let alone actually using, so... Effectively, we're at 0 healing. Blue starts the battle with a Starmie, but nobody likes the shellfish bitch. But in an ironic twist, he only used type-changing moves. What? HeartGold Soul Silver AI is something else, let's just say that. Next, Blue sends out a wet dog, and the smell is pretty bad, so I shake it dry. Then a wet cat? Whatever, shake, shake, shake. Then we crash the Hindenburg. Too soon? Nah. Then we shake the squirrel to bust his nut. Wait, why do I keep doing that? God damn it. And then we Majora's Mask the Moon. Blue was actually pretty easy for some reason. I want to say Blue was one of the easier gym leaders of the entire region, ironically. With Blue gone, our last challenge remains. It's Red. But before Red, we have to plunder some booty and jump into Cerulean's cave. Our lack of healing is a concern, so we have to check every item possible, which... After we're done plundering Cerulean, we travel the world and climb rocks to find more. There's a lot of them. We also relearn Sky Upper Miss, as we'll just set up an axe accuracy in the fight, so we don't need to worry about missing. But Professor Treeman gives us the okay to go into Mount Silver. I don't know why he has the authority to do that, but whatever. So we climb it with the force of a kid going to his girlfriend's house when her parents aren't home, collecting items along the way. So, after greasing the Grussy and collecting the items along the way, we reach Red. Our healing situation is still abysmal, so it's going to take some extreme amounts of luck and strategy to win. But I'll let this fight speak for itself. Erupt. I do the X accuracy first, for sure. That way, if I get stonewalled and I need to stop setting up, I'll have that set up. Actually, I should guard spec first, huh? No. You know what? We ball. Let's go. Oh, easy. I'm gonna set up 2. Yes, okay, okay, thank you. I'm gonna set up 2, just so I can ensure an outspeed on everything. You know what? It's not doing shit to me. Maybe I set up more. Really ensure that victory. +4? No, I'll meet you halfway. I'll go +3. Because he has 1 more Stone Edge left, yeah. Because we're getting low on HP. I'm going in. Dude, if it would have tanked that, I would have been shook. Another one? The fuck? Okay, Red. It's not hump day, bro. Actually, I think it is. No, it's not. It's Tuesday, bro. It's Tuesday. Get these camels out of here.
I'm about to bust.
Sky Uppercut always hits here in FSO.
I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust.
Oh no, it's beginning. Oh no. Boys, we haven't won yet. What are you doing? That's premature ejaculation, boys. Dude, I thought I was gonna live.
This is 300 bucks.
I thought I was gonna live.
Oh my god, it's so juicy! I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust. Oh my god, it's so juicy! Oh my god, oh my god, it's so juicy!
Nice.
Oh my god, it's so juicy! I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust.
This thing is 300 bucks.
I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust. Oh my god, it's
Oh, dude, he burned me too right at the end. Oh shit. That could have been bad.
I'm about to bust. I'm about to bust.
Go. The lights are off. Bust. Rapid fire that shit. Get him. While there's no evidence.
This thing is 300 bucks. This thing is 300 bucks. This thing is 300 bucks.
Oh my god, it's so juicy!
Nobody says a word.
300 bucks. This thing is 300 bucks. This thing is 300 bucks.
So yeah, sorry for the long ass video, but this is my most recent Kaizo IronMON Pokemon challenge. Not a Nuzlocke, basically a Nuzlocke with rules victory. feel free to leave a comment about how I'm a cheater or something like that. Like, it's fine. I don't really care. Ask any questions you want, actually. I'll answer them all. Probably not, honestly. And if you made it this far, why not subscribe, dude? Just press the button. Like the video, maybe? I don't know. Maybe go wash your fucking ass. Like, probably sweaty from watching this whole video, dude. And then here's a close-up on the base stats from Machamp. Cheers, boys.